Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the How to Film Weddings podcast. My name is John Bunn. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. And today's a special episode. We brought on one of our title sponsors, Bride&Groom.Video. Serge, Baidin, the CEO of the company, came on, and we just dug into a conversation about outsourcing, what Bride&Groom.Video does, how they have stayed consistent, who they're aiming for, and things like that. This is an episode where we are diving deep into why Bride&Groom.Video exists and what they're doing. And we wanted an episode at this time of the year, honestly, because there's a lot of people that should be outsourcing starting in 2025. And we wanted to get on your radar before the year got here. The year's winding down. A lot of us are kind of cashing it in, checking it in for the rest of the year. And I really encourage you to listen to this episode, kind of hear the heart behind what Bride&Groom.Video are doing. And whether or not you decide to outsource with them or someone else, it's probably a good idea to consider outsourcing at least a portion of your projects for next year. So this week's episode is all about outsourcing, digging in with Serge from Bride&Groom.Video. So without further ado, let's listen to this week's episode. All right, well, welcome Serge with Bride&Groom.Video to the podcast. Say hello real quick, introduce yourself. Who are you? Tell us a little bit about you and why you're on the podcast today.
Hey, John. Thanks a lot. Thanks for this introduction and thanks for having me. You know, it took many years to finally meet in this podcast recording Zoom. But anyway, I'm Serge Baidin. I'm the founder and the owner of Bride&Groom.Video. And at Bride&Groom.Video, we are wedding video and photo editing company on a mission to make outsourcing simple, user-friendly, and reliable for wedding professionals, for filmmakers, for photographers. And yeah, guys, you, John and Nick, you do a great job. You remove stigma around this process of delegating some creative work to other people. And we are those other people. And we are just to provide that reliable back office for our clients. And actually, our clients say that when they work with us, they feel this peace of mind and they know no matter how many weddings they book, no matter what happens during the filming, they have their team of professionals to cover their back. And yeah, that's why we're here.
Yeah, and a little backstory. When we first started How to Film Weddings, Serge reached out and we decided to hold off for a little bit until like to have you guys be part of our outsourcing company and our outsourcing editors that we advertise and things like that. And it was just because we were still growing and still figuring a lot of things out. And you guys just stayed patient with us and you kept growing and getting better. And I've watched you since now 2018 maybe or 2019.
Well, long before COVID.
Yeah, before the C word, we have been friends and friendly, and you guys have just done a really good job of not being spammy or there's a lot of outsourcing companies out there, people editors that try to spam our group or and you just really played the long game with us, and it was really impressive. And when we decided to open up the outsourcing link on our website a couple of years back, I reached out to you and said, hey, this could be a good time. And you guys at that point started editing some of Blake's films, some of my films, and just we wanted to make sure that the quality was there, and it definitely was. And one thing you said was that you want to be like the back office. You want to make it simple. And you've done that. You've poured a lot of resource into making your system so easy to work with, to get your footage to you guys, all the different things. And we'll dive into that. But tell me a little bit, just like who Bride&Groom.Video is, who you guys are trying to serve. Our audience is mainly wedding filmmakers. We've got some photographers. I know you do photo editing, but who are you looking for when it comes to who you want to work with? And then just a little bit about who is Bride&Groom, who are Bride&Groom.Video.
Yeah, sure. So actually, we are quite a big team. Right now, we have about 90 people on board. We have 70 editors and 20 managers altogether. And actually, we focus on the mid-market videographers. So I'm by mid-market, I mean people who charge from 3, let's say, to 10 to 12 grand per wedding. And if you are not a luxury brand and if you don't charge like 20K, 30K per wedding, likely you cannot afford to hire your in-house editor who will sit next to you so you can have coffee together, you have swap jokes from the past wedding and discuss revisions over a single screen. But what we try to do and what we want to give you this feeling that you have your remote back office, your remote post-production team, and we want to be your editing body, but remotely at the cost of good overseas editor. And yeah, we are actually originally we are all from Ukraine, but now we live in different parts of the world due to this war, due to all circumstances. And I'm based in South Florida. We have our managers in Seattle. We have managers in Europe, in Spain, in Estonia, in Poland. And our editing team is mostly in Ukraine, but also we have editors in Germany, in Poland, in Lithuania. So yeah, we are fully remote. Thanks to COVID, now it taught us how to work remotely.
So you mentioned you have 90 people on your team. How do you do that? How did you it obviously, you know, I don't think your background maybe is video editing for weddings, but you're very good at creating processes and you're really good at creating the system to make it a seamless process. Because when you think about the idea of outsourcing a wedding film, it's not like people just dump their footage to you and then you send back a final product the next day. There's a lot of logistics, and really what you've created is a very smooth logistics company that really takes care of people. How do you do the process basically? Like, what does that look like for clients when, what have you built so that whenever I'm out there and saying, I'm looking at hiring Serge and his team, what kinds of things are you thinking about so that it is easy for me or easy for the client?
Yeah, sure. And yeah, you're right. I'm the guy behind Bride&Groom.Video, and I'm about the processes and I'm about building this experience. And I'm so blessed to have so talented people around me and our editing team. And each team member is much better than me in video editing, to be honest. Yeah, and within our company, in our editing department, we have 7 teams. In each team, we have up to 10 editors, and we have 1 team leader. And each team leader is a guy with many years in videography, in wedding videography, and most of they were shooting weddings before, and now they've done many projects. And our team leaders are in charge of quality in their teams. And we also have a department of internal education, so we constantly learn new things. We develop our team. We have our internal knowledge sharing sessions, and we have special people for this role. Also, we have our management department, and our account managers are people who are working with our clients. And actually, how it works, when you reach out to Bride&Groom.Video via submitting our website forum or sending a message on Facebook or any other platform, we'll have a quick chat with you and just to understand your brand, your vision, and whether we can do what you want us to do. And if we do, we will assign an account manager to you, and this account manager will be your single point of contact for all your future projects for all years, I hope, of working together. And the second thing that we will do, we'll create an account in our online client area. It's our customly built web application, and we will ask you to fill out quite a long form about everything that can help us better understand your style, your requirements. We will ask you to share some references, whether your previous videos or you can show us videos that you want your project to look like, and we will learn that. And starting from that, in our client area, you'll be able to add new projects, You will be able to pay for them using your credit card. We don't ask you to transfer any like Payoneer or PayPal or whatever. Then once the project is in progress, you'll be able to track the current status of the project. And roughly in 14 days, we'll send you the V1, and you'll be able to watch the first version of your wedding film. And feel free to leave any notes, comments, just anything you want to change if you want to change something. And if it's our first project, we are together with you until you're happy. And we don't count how many revisions we made for you. So we are here to make you completely satisfied, and we will be here with you. And starting from the second project, we'll offer you 2 rounds of revisions. And for, let's say, 95% of all our projects, it's enough to create a great product at the end. And once you're happy, again, in our client area, you'll just click the approve button and you will get links to the rendered videos, to project files, to the license from UserBed, to all assets, so everything that you need. And of course, we will ask you for a feedback because it's really important for us to know how we did and how satisfied you were. Actually, in a nutshell, that's it.
Yeah, the thing that I found, I've recently switched my services to using you all, and I sent my first film to you. I think it's a thing that we don't talk about enough, and I've mentioned this a couple of times as I've mentioned you all in previous podcasts, but like it is a relationship that you're building, and it's impossible with all of the nuances of you specifically as a wedding filmmaker to know everything about you in like the very first project. And people's mindset is, well, I'm going to upload footage and they're going to look at my films and give me exactly back what I would have done. And that's not how I recommend people go into a partnership with an outsourcing company. However, what if they can get it 80% of the way there, 85% of it the way there? And if you're going into it thinking, in the first few projects, I'm going to have some back and forth, and then as they get to know me a little bit better and know my style a little bit better, there'll be just a small amount of back and forth. And so it'd be the same as hiring somebody to work for you in the same office as you. They finish a product, you give them a bunch of feedback, they change it, they make it, and then you know after a couple of projects, you're having less and less changes. But the thing I like about what you all do, and some people, have posted in the Facebook group and different stuff, and we'll talk about that in a second, of like, I didn't love my first project, or, it wasn't where I wanted it to be. And I think a lot of people don't realize, hey, it's going to take a few rounds of revision. It's going to, and I sent my first project to you all this summer, a little earlier, late summer, early fall. And it was a big project. I was very reluctant because I was like, hey, I don't want this first project to be, too overwhelming. It was, a wedding that was over 4 days or 5 days of shooting, lots of different ceremonies and different things. And, the first round, I can't remember how many changes I had, but like you were on the right path for sure. It was like, oh, this is good. I would make some, I have changes, but this is good. This is on the way. And I went through very nitpicky, and I said, this change, that little thing, this little thing, that thing, like as much as feedback as I could give you so that you could, your team could fix it. And it was very apparent to me that your systems were really in order because you gave me the footage, and I made the changes, and I got an email back saying these will be done by Friday. And lo and behold, Friday came. Hey, here's your version 2. I watched it over the weekend. On Monday, I said, hey, these are I've got a couple more changes. And you'd say, okay, they'd be ready by the next Friday. Friday came along. Here's version 2. It's ready to go. And as soon as I hit submit, there was a link to get all my films and the project files and things like that. So it was very streamlined in that. And my mindset towards outsourcing is that I'm still the creative director, and that allowed me to still do that. So it's very important that that's streamlined and you're not just wondering or waiting, where my edit is. And that kind of leads me to my next question. When it comes to like your team, you've got a lot of logistics. How long does it take for the average, if I've uploaded a film today on Monday and I've submitted my form and it's a standard 1 or 2 day wedding film, I'm delivering them, maybe a 6 to 8 minute film and some doc edits. What does it look like on how much time does it take, and maybe even the cost? What does it cost for us to look at this kind of thing? Because I think a lot of us need to know that side of it. And sometimes it's really hard to know how much outsourcing companies are going to charge. They kind of keep that. So what does it look like on time and cost?
Yeah, sure. Great questions. And we are pretty transparent here. So you can calculate cost beforehand when you're filling out our order form. We have our calculator. So it depends just on what formats you need, the length of formats, and some additional options. For example, we can edit weddings in different languages, or we can add AI upscaling, or if it's a multi-day wedding or whatever. But anyway, you can see the price before you can tick boxes and you can see it yourself. And for example, short highlight for 2-3 minutes, the price will be $415 American dollars. And our usual package for our clients, usually it includes also some documentary edits like ceremony or speeches, or maybe a teaser. And usual price is somewhere about $650 or $700. And again, we are targeting our clients who are in a range from $3K to $10K. And it means that actually, as a Pareto rule, for 20% of the project cost, we will save you like 80% of working time. And it's our mission. And yeah, it's our goal here. In terms of timelines, we need 14 days, 2 weeks to deliver you version 1. And then it will depend on you how quickly you can watch the video, you can leave your feedback. Maybe you will approve it from V1, maybe you will have some notes. Most of our clients, I would say like 70% of our clients give us some comments, and we finish everything in 1 more week. So altogether it's like 3 weeks. And I know it's very important, especially nowadays with all this content creators hype, that couples are expecting filmmakers to deliver final videos faster than they used to expect earlier. And we have a great use case. We have a good client of ours from the DC area. Currently, they are shooting about 100 weddings per year. And now they have 1 month delivery in their contract. And we have a great process. We know beforehand all their wedding dates. We are prepared. The very next day after the wedding, they upload their footage. We start, and they deliver their weddings in 1 month. And it's so cool to see how they grow. We started together, I believe, in 2020, and they were shooting about 30 weddings per year, and now they're at about 100. And it's really good, and they are happy, and we are happy. And actually, it's the process we want to build with all our clients.
Yeah, I found it very safe almost, because as soon as I uploaded the project and got your, like you said, I could check next to like a ceremony edit and it would add the price to the bill, or I would a teaser film, or I need an 8-minute film or 6-minute, whatever it was, I would check the box and it would update the total. So I knew before I submitted exactly the cost, which I felt like was so transparent and so easy. And then as far as how long it took, with my project, the first one I did, is it was 2 weddings in one, and I still think that you guys had it back in just a couple of weeks. And then I had it done from the time I submitted, to 2 versions of changes on the first project in about 4 weeks time, I think so. And I think that consistency and trust that you guys have that is really important. And so for me, my wonder is the consistency side of it. Because a lot of people would say, oh, there's it's good for a project or 2 or 3 or like, so how do you like if John Bunn Films is a new client and I'm happy with the project, I'm not comfortable if I know there's only one person in your team that knows how to edit, because what if they quit, or what if they get hit by a train or something terrible? So what does it look like for you with consistency and just kind of keeping it where it's like multiple maybe editors or projects? Like how do you make sure that every time I upload, I'm getting a consistent look and product and color and all of that?
Oh yeah, it's a very important topic for all our clients, I guess. Because yeah, you're right. We have, as I said, we have a big team, and if you shoot like less than 50 weddings per year, we cannot guarantee that you'll be working with the same editor. But actually, we have our own internal processes in place. And first, what we do, first, when we receive the first project from you, our account manager, and as I said, account manager is the guy who will be with you throughout all the journey together. He learns everything about your references, about your style, and he's in charge of matching you with the best editor within our team. How do we do it? Okay, first, we take care of the program, because we have teams that work in Premiere Pro, we have a team in Final Cut, we have a team in DaVinci Resolve. And second, well, after so many projects and after so many years, we learned how to understand which client will match one of our editors, and which editor will match this client. And after that, we have our internal checklist, how we work with your references. So when we watch your videos that you send us, we have like a checklist with 27 different checkboxes, and we check, okay, our client loves slow-mo, our client loves those effects, and so on. And we keep it internally for all future projects. And also, well, I can say that in video editing, there are 2 parts. One part is technical, so how we work in editing program, how we work with project files, how we name project files, how we work with segments. And the second part, it's storytelling, the creative part. And this technical part, it is pretty good standardized within our company. But yeah, the storytelling part, it's not possible. At least we don't know how to do it, how to make all the people within the team feel in the same way. Maybe we don't have it. We don't have to, because, we have some great editors, and we know they've been working with us for many projects. And this week, this editor finishes the project, and we receive feedback like, wow, it's fantastic. It's the best edit I have ever seen. And the next project from another client, it was, it's okay, but guys, you could do better. And yeah, sometimes it takes time to learn how to connect pieces here. But again, every year we are becoming better and better in this. And I can say that now in 2024, we are better than we were last year. And last year we were better than the pre-last year. And yeah, we are working hard to build a system that is able to deliver consistently high quality result for you as a client. And that will work for you exactly. And for another client, it will be another story.
Yeah, it's a huge undertaking to match people with the right editors, to keep it consistent. But I've seen from time to time, especially in our Facebook group, or people communicating like, hey, it was good. The great edit. I've seen a lot of companies, switch up editors on people or like kind of change things up without giving them a heads up. What do you do? Just like when it comes to making sure that people are happy over time. I mean, it's kind of on the consistency question side of things, but what do you say to the people maybe in our Facebook group or in other Facebook groups that kind of have some hate for what you all do, or maybe have said, hey, Bride&Groom.Video did not take care of me, or things like that? What are you doing internally, or what would you maybe have to say for people that didn't have a great experience?
Well, currently we have about 300 active clients this year, and most of our clients are with us for years, and we are working hard to build this relationship, long-term relationship. But of course, sometimes from time to time, a new client can come and they can be unsatisfied. And I know it personally because all the communications are handled by my team, but all situations when people are unhappy, usually I'm the one to resolve those situations. And sometimes, of course, sometimes we can fail. But again, we learn from all our mistakes. And what we do, we measure feedback after each project. And I know my percentage. I know that last year we finished 2,000 projects, and we have 16 people who were not satisfied with those projects. This year, we are on track to deliver 3,000 projects. And we have 9 cases, and I know all of them, and we learn from them. But also, the thing is when you see a post on Facebook and someone is writing like, hey, I'm looking for an editor. Maybe you won't go there because you're not interested. You have your editors, you're happy with everything. But if you had a bad experience, you will definitely go there and write something. And it's like our psychology works, that we always try to catch some negative things, and we believe in negative things because why would people say bad things? And if someone says, hey, those guys are doing a great job, you're suspicious maybe.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, whenever you see somebody saying, oh, I love that company, you're like, they're probably being paid to say that or something. And one thing that I've noticed about you specifically is you are very data driven, statistic driven, which is really good for somebody that's managing a logistics company that does, takes care of, 3,000 projects in a year. And I find that to be very helpful because the data doesn't lie. The data, you're not saying there's a balance between, you guys know you're not perfect and you're really paying attention to the data so that you can make more people happy. Like, you want to make money doing this. You want to have a successful life and a career, and you want to take care of your family and send them to college. Like, you want to make money. That's good. That's great. But your goal isn't just to make money. Your goal is to take care of more people and scale as you're taking care of more and more people. I find it interesting that last year you did 2,000 projects. This year you're up 33% to 3,000, or 50% more to 3,000 projects. 9 unhappy clients. And usually those 9 are the ones that are going to pop into the Facebook group and say, I just got screwed by Bride&Groom.Video. And they don't give you enough context. And so you immediately just put this red X over something, one of the outsourcing companies, or in your mind, because you do psychologically grab a hold of the negative review, or okay, they just bait and switch you. They just change up their editors on you or whatever. But when you look at the data and realize, what is, 9 out of 3,000, that's not even, I don't know what percentage that is, but it's very low. I'm sure you have it. But, and of those 9, tell me what you did to try to make them happy. Because I think sometimes there's certain people are just going to be unhappy no matter what. But what was maybe are any of the projects that of those 9 that you've dealt with this year, Do any of them come to mind? And maybe you could share what you did to kind of resolve those situations.
Yeah, sure. Actually, uh, first of all, we are always trying to make things right from the very beginning. But even if something went wrong, we are always here. We are not hiding. We are not ghosting anyone. Uh, you can always find us anywhere, and we are trying to resolve the situation. So usually, we manage to do it in a very good way. And for example, we had a case actually with someone from your mastermind group earlier this year when we had a problem and our editor got sick and we couldn't deliver in time. A very important project for that client. And of course, when the situation was that our client at the end of the day had to sit and urgently edit it himself. But what we did next, we hopped on a call. We had an honest chat. Of course, we gave a refund. We gave some special bonus for the next project. We changed the account manager, and we put all our efforts and all our attention to make this person happy and make him believe in us again. And after 6 months, I received a message from this person, and he was saying, "Hey, Serge, I'm just writing to say thank you. And since you stepped in and you changed things internally, I'm so happy with you guys, and I'm thinking I'll be with you for the rest of my life," something like that. And it's very important. And to be honest, when you run a company, you deal with negative situations mostly. And it's not often when people come to you and say, "Hey, Serge, thank you for your team. You're doing a great job." And I was, okay, wow, it's very good. And actually, yeah, it's a result we always try to achieve. But yeah, sometimes it works. Sometimes people decide now they don't want to try it the second time. But I understand it. That's okay,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think it's really admirable just watching you build this system and build the communication tools to take care of people. You mentioned earlier just about like your market being mainly people, and if you're in the States, probably in the $2,000 or $3,000 starting range up to 10, or you've done some projects for me, and I'm higher than 10,000. I mean, I'm sure you'll take people on, but like what would you say to people? You've got like the luxury market, you've got kind of the middle market, the main market, and then you also have volume clients. How do you treat those differently within your brand? If somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, I only have 4 weddings a year," versus I've got 30, or maybe I've got 250 projects. Is there a difference in those? How would you speak to luxury versus main versus the volume brands?
Well, right now as I said, we are focused on mostly main market. But next year we are thinking of launching special offer for luxury brands, and we will offer more than we usually offer, and we will add some sound design, some AI enhancement, and actually it will be whatever our clients want. And it's not even about money, but it's about our internal driver. And we have editors who've been working with our team for many years, and they want to grow and they want to do more complex and more interesting projects for them. So if someone is watching this podcast and is running a luxury brand, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to have a chat, and we will figure out something specially for you and tailored for you. In order of volume brands, well, it's a bit different story, because usually volume brands are all about the price. And unfortunately, we cannot beat prices of teams from Indonesia or from India just because we pay our editors more than those companies charge those brands, and our math doesn't work. However, maybe in the future, we'll think about creating some template-based weddings, and I see more and more editing companies start offering like template-based projects. So again, we don't have the software right now, but if someone from volume brands are interested in that, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to have a chat, and maybe again we can figure out something for you.
It's interesting to hear. I think the main things that I've uh like, as the person running How to Film Weddings, like Nick and I get a lot of feedback and a lot of people sending a DM saying, hey, I reached out to this company, I never heard back, or I reached out, or man, it wasn't consistent, and you've answered a lot of those questions. I think the thing a lot of people are probably out there asking is like, what is the actual communication like with your team? How do you stay you're transparent, you show the prices, you show what they're going to get, they know, but you've mentioned a little bit of your client interface and how people can see. I think it's worth noting, like I have a login, I can go log in and I can look, and I just would love for you to talk about like the emphasis you put on communication and the client interface. What does that look like for you and your team, and what kinds of things are you doing to ensure that we have constant communication? Because I think a lot of editing companies miss the mark on this, where you're just kind of waiting. You don't know, you've got to reach out and say, hey, where's my project? Or they don't meet a deadline. Or so how do you keep all of those plates spinning? What do you do for communication in the client interface?
Yeah, I believe that in any service business, communication is key. And what we try to do, we try to build this relationship when you think that we are your buddies somewhere remotely, and we know everything about you, we remember everything you told us. And in order to do so, all our managers, we have our weekly meetings with all our managers. We discuss all the news with all our clients. We have our internal CRM system where we track everything about the projects, about your feedback, about your requirements, about your future plans. And last year, we launched our own online interface. We were trying many different tools, but we couldn't find anything that could fit all our needs, that can be integrated with Dropbox, with Frame.io for revisions, that can be user-friendly. So we had to develop it ourselves, and we invested a lot actually in development. But right now, I'm so happy that we have this system, and it makes the process much easier for our clients. So how it works in a nutshell? You have your login, you can log in to your account, and you can see all the history of your past projects. For all your past projects, you can find project files, you can find rendered videos, you can find communications that we had about those projects. Also, you can add new projects that you have right now, or you can schedule projects for future. So as in that story that I told about our client, for example, you know that you booked 30 weddings for the next year, and you know the dates. What you can do, you can just add those projects to our system. You don't have to pay anything right now. You don't need to do anything except just write in the dates and the names for those projects. And it helps us to prepare our resources, to prepare our team, and to plan our workload. And then when the date came, you will need just to upload footage to any cloud storage. We work with Dropbox. However, if you work with Google Drive or WeTransfer, it's totally okay. By the way, we have special people within our team who just move files from Google Drive to our Dropbox if needed. And you will be able to choose what formats you need. Like you need teaser for social media, you need horizontal teaser, you need vertical teaser, you need highlight for 7 minutes, you need speeches, and for example, you can need some even custom format, something unusual, and you also have this option, and you can type what you want. Then you make a payment and the project goes to the scheduling stage. It means that we are downloading your footage, we are learning your requirements, we are assigning an editor, and once we are ready to start, your project goes to the in progress stage, you receive a notification, and then you can see like your estimated delivery date. If we have any questions, we will send you a message via Gmail. Currently, we are adding text messages, so our clients will receive text notifications when the project is ready and so on. And also, we currently, actually last week, we launched a section for photographers, and now many of our clients are husband and wives teams and photo and video teams. And now you can order video, you can order photo, and everything will match colors, and you will receive everything in one place from us. And we have many more plans. So yeah, actually, I can talk for hours. It's my pride and joy.
Yeah. Every time I talk to you, you're thinking about, drumming something else up or using AI for this or doing that. I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff you have on the horizon. I was going to ask you about the photography side of things, but you kind of answered my question just there. And if you're out there and you're like, wait a sec, they do photo, I do photo. How are you scheduling or handling? Can you handle a mass influx of photography clients, or are you taking a limited number for now? What does that look like if someone's interested in photo?
Well, actually, right now we are not showing ads or some kind of promo for photographers. We mostly focused on videographers who also do photo. However, more and more photographers reach out to Bride&Groom.Video, and actually more and more photographers start offering video. And there is a big difference between clients, between videographers who order video editing and photographers who order video editing. Because videographers know what they want to do and they know how to do it, and they explain the way they do it. Photographers ask, how would we do that? And photographers usually don't know how to edit videos, and they show us references. Hey, I have this footage. Can you do something like Ray Roman or someone? And we are happy to help. We are happy to educate. We are happy to share some knowledge and some articles with photographers. For example, many of them ask how to work with proxy if they have like slow internet. And we have a lot of materials in our blog about how to create proxy, how to connect back files, media files. So yeah. But now I see a new trend, and more videographers offer photos. And now with new AI things, for example, from Topaz, it becomes possible to use video and to create screenshots and make them high quality images. And we already had some clients, and they asked to take screenshots from their videos. And we did it. And actually, yeah, the result was pretty decent. So this world is changing.
Yeah.
So first everything.
Yeah, it's interesting with Topaz AI for sure. I've been taking screen grabs and upresing them and sending them over high quality photos. And there's so many generative things that are getting added with AI. Things are changing all the time. And I guess one of my final questions is more on like how you keep your team educated and growing, and there's things changing all the time. What types of things are you adding for your team to keep them educated so that they can stay up with trends or up with what's going on in the market?
Yeah, it's actually one of our differentiators from other companies. It's about our internal process for editors. First of all, when we hire editors, our selection process is really rigorous. And yeah, we show a lot of ads, and many people come to an interview And I can say that in last 12 months, we interviewed about 1,000 people, and only 30 people were asked to join our team. But then we have a big spreadsheet, and we have many different lines there. For example, working with color, working with several effects, working with sound transitions. And we try to decompose all video editing process to smaller steps. And then every team leader in our company is responsible for showing red, yellow, or green for each of our editors. And we try to teach our team leaders to teach our editors some things they don't know. And also, when it comes about new things, as I said, we have like internal development team, and their task is to find new things on the market, to learn new tools, to watch educational videos, and actually thank you guys for what you do. And we take a lot from you. So what you say, we teach it to our team. And also, we work, for example, with Matt Johnson, and we edit his courses, and also we take information from there. So what we do, we take the best from the market, and we try to constantly develop our teams and to become stronger and stronger each year.
Yeah, I love that. And one of the reasons why we're so excited that you're one of, the How to Film Weddings title sponsors now is just the idea that we are in alignment with the idea that Nick and I don't think we're perfect. A lot of people would never start educating because they're not literally winning awards for being the best wedding filmmakers in the world or whatever. And we've received lots of hateful messages over the years of people saying we shouldn't be educating, or we're not real educators, or we're not, that is always funny to me because a lot of people wait to do anything in life until they've got it perfect. And I've watched as you all, it wasn't perfect in 2018. It was far from perfect with your brand. But as 2019 rolled on, and 2020, and going through the pandemic, and just watching all the things that you're doing to think long term and think how you can build a sustainable business, and watching it flourish. It's always so fun for me to point people to brands like yours, because I know that I can trust if someone reaches out to you, they're going to be taken care of. And I guess one of my final thoughts here is, I know you do specials for How to Film Weddings listeners and things like that. But if someone's on kind of the fence and saying, yeah, I want to do outsourcing, but I'm concerned, or I would like to maybe get my first project in, do you feel like the Bride and Groom has the space for more people as the Christmas season, new holiday season gets in? And if so, what's the best way for them to kind of get in touch with you? Where can people meet you? Where can people kind of get in touch with Bride&Groom.Video so that they could, see if this is the right fit for them? Because when it comes to editing your films, you don't want to just toss the keys to somebody and say, hey, you drive the car in my business. So what would you say to someone out there that's kind of contemplating it, but isn't ready to make that jump quite yet? And then are there any specials that you have going on?
Well, right now it's already Thanksgiving, so it's 1 month before Christmas. And to be honest, we have very limited capacity this year. But yeah, we are taking more and more clients for 2025. And if you have any ideas, any questions, or you have any concerns anyway, feel free to reach out to our team. The best way to do so is to fill out our contact form on the website, but also feel free to send Facebook message or send an email to hello@Bride&Groom.Video. We are always here. We are always happy to chat with you and to discuss how we can help your brand grow in the next year and the next couple of years, and how we can grow together. And at the end of the day, we are all about creating a great experience for the couples. and how we can all together serve your couples and deliver better films in shorter timeline.
Yeah. And if you head to our outsourcing link, howtofilmweddings.com/outsourcing, Bride and Groom Video is like the top outsourcing partner there. There's a link that takes you to any specials and promos. We'll link it in the show notes. Serge, before we sign off today, any final notes that you have that you want to make sure that I miss, anything like that before we sign out for today?
Yeah, again, let's say it here. Dear How to Film Weddings community, thank you all for being here, and we are so happy to be sponsors of How to Film Weddings. We are so happy to serve you all. And yeah, again, for How to Film Weddings community, we have special promo code for $100 off your first project. It's HTFW 100. Feel free to use it. And for How to Film Weddings mastermind group, guys, our team will go to Arizona with John and Nick, and hope to see you there. Keep your work-life balance healthy.
I love that. Thank you so much, Serge, for taking the time. People, reach out to them before 2025 gets too busy. Just start that conversation so you can get rolling with outsourcing. They're a great addition to your team. And if you have questions for us, please let us know. Serge, thank you so much again for being on for today's podcast.
Thank you, John. Thanks for having me.
Well, again, thank you, Serge, for being on today and answering all my questions about Bride&Groom.video. As Serge mentioned, if you type in HTFW 100, that's HTFW 100 in the checkout box over at Bride&Groom.video, you'll get $100 off your first project. A lot of good stuff here in this episode, and I just want to say thanks to Serge for being one of the main supporting sponsors of How to Film Weddings. I love getting people on that are supporting us. And we want you to support brands that support How to Film Weddings. So if you love what we're doing and you love the brand of How to Film Weddings, consider reaching out and seeing what Serge and the team can do for you. I know I've been very happy with the edits I've sent to them. So be sure to do that. Have an incredible week. That's all I have for this time. And until next time, we'll see you.